If you're a dentist looking to buy a practice, how much will it cost you? Obviously, it's a lot, but just because you're about to see some eye-popping numbers doesn't mean it isn't doable. You can buy a practice. You can be a successful owner, and yes, you can have the income to pay off your student loans and to keep you financially comfortable, even wealthy, for the rest of your life. In this video, I'll tell you what to expect in terms of practice costs overall, your monthly payments, and how you'll go about affording all of this. So let's dive in. Let's start with the bottom line. The average practice sells for 76.8% of annual collections. That means if the practice collects $1 million a year, it sells on average for $768,000. A practice collecting $1.2 million would go for $922,000, and so on. That number is for general dentistry, by the way. It will go up or down depending on specialty. Perio and OMS practices go for a tiny bit less, pedo a little bit more, and orthodontics leads the pack by a pretty significant margin. Regardless of your specialty, that's a lot of money. But don't worry, by the time I'm done, it will sound totally doable. If you're wondering how we get those numbers, it's all about how brokers do valuations and how buyers negotiate during the purchase. If I wanted to bore you to tears and have you close this video, I'd tell you all about it. Instead, I'll tell you to go check out my book where I go into detail about all that stuff. You'll want to know about it eventually, but not now. Staring down the barrel of a purchase of $700K, $800K, $1 million, it can be overwhelming. But it's not, I promise. Let's say you spend an even $1 million to buy a great practice. Nobody's asking you to cut a check for that $1 million. You'll take out a loan. Most commonly, it will be a 10-year loan, and right now rates are about 6%. So your monthly payment comes out to just over $11,000 a month. Still sound like a lot? Yeah, it probably does on an associate income, or certainly if you're still in school. But let's go back to our example. If you're paying $1 million for a practice, then that practice is probably collecting about $1.3 million annually. If it's run well, that practice costs about $800,000 a year to operate, leaving you with, yes, $500,000 a year in income. You're pulling in about $43,000 a month at that rate, so that $11,000 monthly payment sounds a bit more doable, wouldn't you say? In fact, you can make that payment and make huge payments towards your student loans and still live very comfortably. Now that example would be for a pretty big practice. Maybe the one you want to buy will be smaller than that. No problem. Your income might not be as high, but then neither will your monthly payments. Or hey, maybe the practice you buy will be even bigger. Who knows? One last piece of really good news. With a loan like that, you might think it would be tough to qualify. It isn't. You're a dentist, which means banks love you. Financially speaking, you're among the safest bets on the planet. So safe, in fact, the banks will usually loan 100% of the purchase price. That means no down payment. If you've been practicing dentistry for a year or more, have a little cash saved up, and can prove that you've got the skills and hand speed to keep up with the production at a given practice, the loan is yours. Let me say that a little louder for folks in the back. Banks love you so much that they'll give you a loan for the entire cost of the practice. All you need to do is be good at your job, the dentistry, and show them you're financially responsible. That's it. So how much does a dental practice cost? The answer is not more than you can pay. Think of it this way. By buying a good dental practice, you're spending a lot of money, but only so you can make much, much more than what you spent. If you want to get started on your journey to ownership, grab a copy of my book, $20 on Amazon or $10 if you go to dentalbuyeradvocates.com. And then schedule a call with me and we can dig into your specific situation. Head over to the website to learn more.